we're back with another video. Tonight we'll just make something, whatever we can put together from whatever stuff we have in the fridge. We got some chicken, the vegetables we're going to use. Maybe some rice. We'll see, whatever we can come up with. Tonight is a free meal out of the fridge. Nothing was planned for this video. This video was not sponsored by Lansky. This was given to me to try by one of my really good friends, Vino, and I just got to use it now, well, last couple days. I really like it. I'm not sure if I'm going to give it back to him. No, I'm just kidding. I might just buy him a new one because I do like this. This is so simple. And it was kind of intimidating at first, but it's really easy, and I'd suggest you buy a really crappy knife from a dollar store or Walmart and use this with it just in case you mess it up. I just went and bought like a $6 knife, and I just used it till I got it nice and sharp. Not this. This is the Japanese Damascus steel chef knife. Not the most expensive knife, but it's very hard. It's very hard to sharpen because it's very hard steel. I think it was folded like 72 times. And recently I just used a really shitty sharpener on it, like one of the ones you put down and you just pull the knife through it. And it left the blade, the sharp edge was really jaggy, and it looked really bad, and it was really hard to fix. The honing steel didn't do anything to it, but these little metal rods really did a nice job on it, and it's all smooth. There's none of those little tiny like up down little ridges on there. It's becoming really nice, and this is really neat. You just kind of twist it, and you have your ceramic rods in here, and then on the other side you have the whatever these are, non-ceramic rods. I don't know what they're called, but anyways, I looked this up on Amazon. It's available. It's really nice. I'd suggest this for a beginner's sharpening system. I liked it a lot. So anyways, that's for that. Whenever you're cutting stuff on your cutting board, use a wet towel under it. It'll prevent the cutting board from sliding, and it's so much easier to cut everything on it when you don't have to worry about this constantly sliding around. Like if you just put it down without the wet towel, it kind of slides all over. It's annoying, it's dangerous, you're gonna cut yourself. Get a wet paper towel or a wet kitchen towel and use that, and it's gonna be nice and sturdy. Tonight we're gonna use some onions, garlic, and we're gonna use some peppers. This is going to be our vegetable in with our chicken, so we'll just get going with cutting up all this. Here's our garlic. We're going to use this crappy cleaver to mash or crush our garlic for easier peeling. Also, if if you have anything you would like us to cook and prepare, leave it in the comments and we'll see what we can do. Due to this pandemic or whatever you want to call it, some things might not be easy to find in a store, but we'll do our best. And really, it can be anything, whatever you want. We'll see what we can do. And nothing stupid. Okay, these are just sweet onions, Vidalia. These are my favorite for everything. They're really good in salads and tuna salads, chicken salads. So we'll just dice these up. Now we'll just cut up some peppers real quick. And I'm cutting up seeds and everything because these are just sweet, very mild peppers. You can see when I'm cutting, the blade never leaves the cutting board, which eliminates your chances of getting cut. Some things you can cut, which I really don't like to do. Like when you're cutting mushrooms or something, you can kind of do this, but that's not really, I wouldn't recommend that. I would always make sure at that one point off your blade, whether it be a cleaver or one of these strap knives, is always touching the cutting board, and keep your fingers away from the blade. Use the claw method, like never cut anything like this. You're gonna hit your fingers. Use the claw. Your fingers are tucked away. Your blade is touching here. I don't know if you can see that. Your blade is touching here, and never your fingertips will never go under the blade because you're always like this. So that's something you learn on your own chef school or from somebody else, or after you cut yourself once or twice. You will learn now that method. Here's our chicken. I'm just gonna cut all of this up because when I cook, I like to make food that's gonna last for a couple days. So I'm just gonna cut all of this up. We're gonna take our garlic, get it nice and brown. I'm gonna take some black pepper. Okay, we'll just give this a little look. See how this is browning. See, that's what we want, that nice brown. Alright, so this is our pepper and onion mix. The pan is still hot. We're going to pull these off. Okay, so we're going to take some chicken. The pan is still hot and we're just going to throw it in there. We're going to put some salt on there. Lemon pepper seasoning. In powder, and garlic powder. As I said before, you can't get enough garlic. We're gonna let this sit on one side till it's nice and brown, and then we'll flip it and see what we get out of it. Nice. One of the biggest things about chicken is people either overcook it or they undercook it, which you really don't want to do. You want your chicken to hit 165 or above, but you don't want it to be 180. It's going to be tough, it's going to be dry. So what I do is I like to just break them up, these bigger pieces, and you're just looking for clear white juice. And like, as you can see, this piece right here, it might look done, but it's not. If you try to cut into it, it doesn't cut right. And you can, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there's little pink in there, and you just want to cook it all the way through. Cook your chicken all the way through. Cook it to 165. You don't want to get anybody sick. I cannot stress that enough. There's no such thing as a 24-hour bug. It's food poisoning, trust me. People call it 24-hour bug, but all it is food poisoning. Because people don't know how to cook. That's why I'm here, to show you how to cook your chicken. Okay, our chicken is nice and tender now. We're going to turn the heat down to medium. We're going to take our peppers and onions and garlic mix and put it in here. Now, if you remember earlier, I said I was going to put a jalapeno in there. Well, I forgot to cut it up earlier, so I just cut it up now real quick. And the reason I didn't put the jalapeno in here with everything else is because the jalapeno and the seeds cooks, it gets into the air and it burns your eyes, it burns your throat. So I like to cook everything else and throw in my jalapenos at the end and just let them simmer with everything else. And this is seeds and everything. And now we're just gonna let this, we're gonna turn this down to simmer, and we're just gonna let it sit and have a nice party in here. In the meantime, we're gonna work on our starch for our chicken dish. So we'll put this to simmer and we'll just leave it alone for now. We're gonna take a cup and a half of cold water. We're gonna take 1 cup of rice. We're gonna turn this on high and we're gonna bring it to a boil. Okay, we're boiling. We're gonna give it a quick stir. We're gonna reduce it down to simmer and we're gonna put a lid on it. It's been about 15 minutes. We're gonna take a look at our rice here. We got a nice fluff. We got a nice fluff. Put a lid on it. I'm gonna teach you how to do corn on cob in the cast iron pan. Olive oil and corn. We're gonna salt it. We're gonna pepper it. I'm gonna take some butter and just set it right on top of these. It's been a couple minutes. Let's take a peek at our corn. Take our rice. Make a nice bed of rice. And then we're going to take our chicken. Don't be afraid to take some of that juice from your chicken and give it a nice little drizzle. We have our corn. So previously I have smoked some eggs in shells on apple wood. We're going to serve them as a side with our dish. Give them a little cracked black pepper and a little drizzle of sriracha. I would say this dinner is complete. Dinner is served.